Hi, I am DreamyAbaddon, and in this video, we're going to be talking about GW2's Combat System 101. GW2's Combat System is based on 3 combat mechanics: damage, control, support. This means every class in the game needs to be able to deal damage while maintaining that control and being able to support themselves. Damage is important. It's the very thing that helps you kill the enemy. Control is when you make it difficult for the enemy to attack you, making you in control of the combat. Here is a list of control skills that you should know. Support is when you support yourself by enhancing your combat abilities. It's when you heal yourself, give yourself some boons, or condition removals. Here are the list of support skills that you should know. Now that you have an idea of what damage, control, and support are, let me give you 2 examples of how they're executed in actual combat. Alright, starting with the warrior. I'm going to use a skill called Blade Trail to take control of the enemy by crippling it. Then I'll support myself using Great Justice to get Fury and Might. This leaves me a chance to do some nice damage control with Whirlwind Attack.
For great justice!
Since the enemy is too close to me at this point, I'm going to support myself using Endure Pain to take no damage for 5 seconds. This will allow me to do some major damage using 100 blades. Once that wears off, I'm going to do damage control using Whirlwind Attack, but I'll use Blade Trail to keep the enemy crippled. As you can see, the enemy's health is pretty low right now, but I'm starting to lose health myself, so I'm going to support myself using Healing Surge. Then I'm going to do some damage control using Whirlwind Attack. Then I'm going to swap my weapons to my rifle and use Aimed Shot to maintain control by crippling the enemy. As you can see, I just lost control of that fight. I gotta get back up and use Rifle Butt to take control back by knocking enemy, and while the enemy is still crippled, I'm gonna use Volley Shot to do some nice damage. Alright, it's time to finish off this enemy. I'm going to throw bolas to immobilize the enemy so I take control. Then I'm going to support myself with Great Justice to get Fury and Might. Then I'm going to take control of the enemy's defense by making it vulnerable with Brutal Shot. Then I'm going to use Kill Shot for some damage.
For great justice!
And now is my chance to swap to my Great Sword and finish him off. Now let's look at the replay in full time.
For great justice! Great justice!
Alright, so Engineer is my next example. I'm going to use Elixir B to support myself to get Fury, Might, Retaliation, and Swiftness. Then I'm going to support my next 3 attacks to cause burning damage. Then I'm going to take control of the enemy with Static Shock to blind the enemy and confuse the enemy. This will leave me a nice chance of doing some really cool damage with Poison Dart Volley. As you can see, the enemy just got close to me. However, he's still blinded. So I'm going to take advantage of that by using Blowtorch to do some nice close damage while maintaining my control with Glue Shot to immobilize him and cripple him. Again, it seems like the enemy is getting closer to me. So I'm going to swap to my Elixir gun and use Acid Bomb for control to leap backwards while dealing some damage. Afterwards, I'm going to use Elixir F to keep control of the enemy by crippling it as it supports me with Swiftness. And once I get to the right positioning, I'm going to use Firmigate for some nice damage control. It doesn't look like I have enough time to finish off this skill, so I'm going to swap to my Flamethrower to use Air Blast to take control of the enemy by knocking it back. Then I'm going to use Flame Blast and Flame Jet to do some more damage. Because I want to avoid taking damage, I'm going to use Smoke Vent to take control of the enemy by blinding it, as well as healing myself with Elixir H and supporting myself by tossing Elixir B and tossing Elixir H. Now I'm going to use Acid Bomb for controlled damage to get away from the enemy. Then I'm going to use Static Shock to take control of the enemy by blinding it and confusing it. This gives me a chance to do some damage with Poison Dart Volley, as well as taking control of the enemy with Glue Shot by immobilizing the enemy and crippling the enemy. Alright, now it's time to finish this guy off. I'm going to support myself by tossing Elixir H. Then I'm going to use Elixir B to support myself to get Fury, Might, Retaliation, and Swiftness. Then I'm going to take control of the enemy by using Air Blast to knock it back. Then I'm going to finish it off with Flame Blast.
Kill them all!
Now let's look at the replay in full time.
Kill them all!
To get a good idea of how other professions play in combat, please go check out my 6-minute video on Guild Wars 2's combat demos to see all 8 professions kick ass. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more.